back to another financial astrology update video on AMC that you literally can't get anywhere else. I'm your host, Jason Alexander, Double Moon and Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. And we have another exciting week coming up on AMC. I know the last week wasn't pretty, the week before that wasn't pretty, and the week before that wasn't pretty, but let me know if you're still buying more AMC shares like I am. Let me know if you're still at least holding strong like I know a lot of the original apes are, and hopefully the new apes are. So let everyone know what's good, if you guys are still holding, if you guys still think the squeeze is going to happen. I know I do. And I have a lot of reasons this week coming up on us seeing a reversal based on what we're seeing in the stars, okay? Because there's a lot of shifts, and I mean a lot of great shifts happening in the sky right now. That could definitely have a positive effect on AMC in the very near future. I definitely see a reversal incoming. Now, I'm just going to go over what's happening with the moon phases like usual. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new here and haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. This is literally DD that you can't get anywhere else in AMC. And we've been doing this since last year, January. We know what's good. This is just another tool in our arsenal to help us understand what's happening with the stock. We know this whole time it's been heavily manipulated, and honestly, the manipulation is just getting crazier. I feel like the whole world is tracking AMC stock, right? And we're all trying to figure out what the pattern is, what's going to happen. And it's like this last month, it's like the hedge funds decided to let's mess up every single pattern that AMC stock has ever done, so no one can really see what is happening. Okay. But I think times like these, I think it's a really good time to look at the sky to see what's happening in astrology. As above, so below. And it's going to help us understand what to expect. Now, looking at the moon phases, you guys know, if you're original moon lords, the blue backgrounds are the waxing, the black backgrounds are the waning period of the moon when the moon is dying. We know the moon controls emotions in astrology. We know the stock market is a heavily emotional game. So moon phases can definitely help us track the whole shebang. Now, this is the first time since we've been doing this for over a year that AMC has been on a downtrend for multiple, 3 moon phases in a row. All right. Just for that reason alone, this is uncharted territory. But just for that reason alone, I do think an reversal definitely has to be right around the corner. I mean, we've never been on such a heavy downtrend on all these phases before. Okay, so looking at the moon phases, we can see since late November, we've been on a downtrend, all these phases. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this new moon, we had a little bit of a new moon pop and then a full moon pop, but they didn't go anywhere. So it's still reacting to the new moon, full moon, but it hasn't been giving us an actual real reversal. Okay, so the last 4 moon phases, we've been on a downtrend. That alone is telling me that this is not sustainable. Eventually, we're going to have to rip back the other direction. Okay. Now, I didn't tell you guys since this new moon, when we dipped under this support line several times, that the next support is that $17 level. Now, we may not ever get there, but I am telling you guys that is a possibility on this next moon phase. But there's just no way we're going to see much lower than that if we were to go that low. And if we touch 17, I'm literally going to throw everything I have at AMC. I'm probably going to even buy some call options, okay? I definitely don't see it going underneath that level, and if it does, it won't stay there. Now, we do have a full moon this weekend on Sunday, unfortunately, and you guys know a lot of that full moon energy pops can happen 3 days before, so we kind of missed the full moon pop. However, we still could be getting a reversal into this phase, okay? Now, typically, AMC does move up on waxing periods, not waning periods. But again, the hedge funds are changing all the patterns, so no one can track it on any aspect. I mean, AMC's trading everything has been changing on the stock. Okay, so I won't be surprised because you guys know we did the video on hedge funds do use moon phases. The stock market market makers, they all use moon phases. I did a video. It says hedge funds exposed all over there. We know Citadel has a dark pool, actually, or it's not open anymore, but it actually was named Apogee, which is a moon phase. Okay, so do not get it twisted. So they could it could be time for a reversal based on the moon phases. And if we start going up on waning periods, so be it, because we are due for a reversal. There's a lot of things happening in the stars that says the reversal could be coming this week. So I would not put it past us. Okay. Now, obviously, if we do start reversing on this waning period, we really need to see that $28 level for us to take us back before we can say, hey, there's going to be a pop on the next new moon or full moon around this 30, back into the 30s, okay? Now, I want to throw up some more indicators to give you guys some more thoughts that I'm having on the stock. Okay, so speaking of apogees and perigee moons, we did a video on that. What that means is when it's an apogee moon, the moon is closest to the Earth, and when it's a perigee, it's close to the Earth, and when it's apogee, the moon is further away from the Earth, okay? So sometimes when you look at the moon and it just looks so big and full, that's typically because it's a perigee moon. And perigees and algopedes or apogees can create tides, high tides, low tides, and stuff like that. So in astrology, financial astrology, it does show a significant time for reversal. So one thing I want to show you guys is just food for thought. Before we had the January run up, we had apogee, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 days later, we hit that $20 mark. Okay, and if we go over to June or May, we had apogee, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, we had we went from, let's see, $9 to almost $15, and then on that full moon, we had apogee, and then that brought us to, or perigee, and that brought us to the $72 mark a few days later, okay? Now, if we come over to now, okay, we had an apogee, and we had a Mercury retrograde land right on Friday, and we went green, okay? And so I do think, based on that we could see a reversal, okay? And you guys know that January is a potential squeeze time frame for me. And we know on January 21st is when the option trains we could get a gamma, okay? At least that's what a lot of people are looking for. So that would line up 5 days, pretty much 5 trading days afterwards. That would line up perfectly, okay? And we will, hypothetically speaking, if it is on Friday, that is 4 days after the full moon. So it could be a late day pop. Now, remember, if we start popping on the actual full moon, the day after the full moon, that could carry us into the waning period for us to continue pop, just like we did in May. Okay, on May 26th, we had a full moon, an eclipse full moon, and we had a perigee moon right after that, and we started popping the day before the full moon into the full moon. We continued to pop until we hit the $72 mark. So something like that could be playing out for us on Monday. Unfortunately, all the indicators aren't really telling us that anything like a reversal, just like it did last week. I said, hey, last week on this, or the last video I did on the new moon, I said there's nothing indicating a reversal. We could keep going down. And that's exactly what we did. Even though it was a waxing period, I was hopeful that we would go up, because typically we go up on waxing periods, but there's no indication of that. We're getting the same exact thing, but this time we're even more oversold, okay? But we didn't squeeze as much down on the red, on the MACD, which is good. And on Friday, which was the apogee, Mercury retro, and 3 days before that full moon, we had a big increase in volume, and we did go green. Okay, so there could be a small chance of a reversal based on the moon phases, but I want to get into the charts because that's where the fun is looking this week. All right, and that's really why I'm saying I definitely see a strong possibility of a reversal. Before we get started, go ahead and show some love by hitting that like button. If you're new here and haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. This is AMCDD. You literally can't get anywhere else. And go ahead and watch my other videos that we've been doing for months. If you need a proven track record, it is definitely there. And if you guys are a Moon Lord and haven't checked us out at the Market Moon Lord Discord, definitely check us out. A lot of great people in there. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching these videos, showing me love. I'm so excited for us to continue this journey and finally get to our attendees. Okay, and hey, and I guess on the good news is we all get this, or a lot of us get to save money on taxes. Okay, so there are some silver linings into that. But yes, I see a lot of different shifts happening in financial astrology. So let's jump into the charts now. Welcome Welcome to the Market Moon Lord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. I'm your host, Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Okay, guys, so I have Monday pulled up, and I know that Monday is closed on the stock market, but I just wanted to show you the full moon and where it's landing. The full moon lands in AMC's sixth house, and it's in the sign of Cancer, and AMC has the moon in the sign of Cancer. Okay, so the moon is at its home sign, Cancer, at AMC's home moon sign, Cancer, and we're having a full moon in the sign of Cancer. Okay, and Cancer represents the masses, the people. Okay, so this is good for the retail investor. Having a full moon in the sign of Cancer could show a completion and a new beginning. Okay, so maybe, it's just a new phase right off the bat with the full moon in the sign of Cancer, and that looks pretty good for AMC, and it's directly opposite AMC's Venus. So let's take a look at AMC's Venus, because AMC's Venus has been getting a lot of attention lately. We have Pluto on top of AMC's Venus. Pluto represents sudden changes, especially when it comes to money, resources, other people's resources, takeovers. Venus represents relationships. It also represents money. Pluto represents resources, but Venus represents actual money, okay? And Venus represents people, things being beautiful, aesthetics. For the company, it represents branding, merger type energy, activity. Pluto conjunct Venus is very good for mergers, very good for transformations with branding, very good for transformations with using resources, other people's money, etc. We also have the Sun in the sign of Capricorn, also directly on top of AMC's Venus. Okay, and we know Sun is illumination, Sun is attention. Sun also represents company management and CEO. Okay, and it's having a full moon in the sign of Cancer. Okay, so we can see a lot of changes happening, transformations happening with management. We see a lot of transformations happening with branding, with money. I'm not surprised. Right before this happened, Adam said, "Hey, we're not selling any more stock. Him selling stock is over." Now, having this full moon here, especially, I want to show you guys. We don't really talk much about this, but I was thinking about it, and we've been having a lot of 12th house energy for AMC. Okay, if you look here, we have all these numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, all the way to number 12. Okay, this all represents something. Okay, it represents a scenario happening in each location of the chart. Now, the first house is you, persona, your how you illuminate in the world, how you're seen, or how you present yourself in the world. Okay. But you go to the 12th house, and 12th house is more of a hidden house, okay? Things aren't being seen in the 12th house. Things get lost in the 12th house. They even consider the 12th house the house of losses, okay? Because all these houses, the first 11 houses are houses for the external world, okay? You could say. But when you deal with the 12th house, and some of the other houses deal with the internal world, spiritual world, okay, but the 12th house doesn't deal with the outside world really at all. It really rules isolation, asylums, jail, illusions, the spirituality, church, that kind of thing. But it's also known as the house of losses because nothing's physical there, and it's like a big ocean of imagination. And things, and it's also the house of completion. Okay, so it's the endings as well. But when you have all this energy in AMC's 12th house, okay, you could say, hey, there could be some losses. There could be some things getting just lost in chaos. There can be a lot of emotional trauma going on here. 12th house can bring a lot of emotional energy as well, and a completion of things. A completion. Okay. That's the biggest thing I want you guys to understand is when, especially the sun, because everything revolves around the sun. And when you have the sun in the 12th house, this is like your identity, getting fine tuned. And then when it goes into the first house again, it's like you're in like a brand new energy, a brand new self, a brand new chapter of life. Okay. This is like, AMC is truly about to start its new year. Okay. You can almost say like that. I mean, literally it started when it had a birthday. However, when we look at the actual chart system, the sun is about to be in AMC's first house again, which is definitely a big indication for a new beginning. And we just had a full moon on top of AMC's ascendant, okay? Which will also say, hey, there's a new chapter coming in for AMC very soon, if not this week, which is one of the indications on why I'm seeing a reversal. All right, let's jump into the actual week. Okay, so I hope you guys are excited because this week we're expecting some really big moves because of the option chain. If you guys haven't heard, on the 21st of this month, which is going to be Friday, we have lots of open interest on AMC stock call options that are in the money, especially if we stay above $20. Okay, there's like 26,000 contracts. Whoa. Okay, they definitely want us under 20 this week. That's a fact. If we somehow stay above that, it could be huge just off that reason. And there's a lot of shifts happening, okay? So the very first thing I want to talk about, and just so you guys know, I'm only looking at Friday, January 21st. Now, I did put out a video last week of why I think we are going to squeeze this month. It's very detailed. So if you guys want a lot of big explanations on why I think we might squeeze this month, check out my last video that I posted. This video is more about why I think we're going to shift into a new energy, get some reversals this actual week, and we could get that big gamma squeeze on Friday. Now, the first thing I'm gonna point out is where the sun is. Okay, the sun finally shifted from out of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, it represents building, but it also represents restriction. Okay, it's a sign of Saturn, and it's a very slow moving energy at that, and it's very restrictive, and it represents government and hierarchy. Not really the vibe. Okay, so I'm very happy that the sun is shifting from Saturn, or from Capricorn, which is Saturn's sign, Earth sign, a very stabilizing or slow moving or restricting speed bump type sign, into the sign of Aquarius, which is an air sign, way faster energy. And it also is not only ruled by Saturn, but it's also ruled by Aquarius, and Aquarius is sudden thrust into the future. Okay, Aquarius literally represents explosions into the future. Okay, very futuristic sign. And the sun on Friday will be conjunct AMC's ascendant. Lots of attention on AMC this week. The sun is illuminating AMC's ascendant first house and the sign of Aquarius. Sudden changes into the future, futuristic changes, a lot of communication, big explosion type energy, just on the fact that the sun just switched signs this week, coming into this week, and Friday will be in the number one first degree of Aquarius. Okay, now the second thing I want to point out is the North Node, which is huge, guys, huge. Okay, the North Node is right here. We know the North Node represents destiny, and it's wherever North Node goes is a big amp of energy there. But when the North Node shifts from one side to another, one sign to another sign, happens once a year, and is very, 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 very potent energy for everybody, everywhere, for everything. It's a major shift of just energy, okay? Because the North Node is what we're super focused on, and the North Node is like we almost become obsessed where the North Node is, okay? It's been a sign of Gemini. Gemini is communication, it's the internet, it's news, it's broadcasting, and it's a Mercury sign, which is all about calculating numbers, making sure everything is perfect, fine-tuning, communicating, deal making, all that kind of stuff. And it just shifted in the sign of Taurus, okay? And Taurus deals with it's a Venus sign, okay? So Venus deals with relationships. It deals with money. It deals with things being aesthetically pleasing. It deals with branding. It deals with love and relationships. And Taurus is an earth sign, which deals with things getting built. All right, Taurus loves to manifest. Taurus loves to build things. And Taurus, since this Venus sign, it also has a lot to do with money. Taurus likes money. Okay, now Taurus is the bull, and it is it's a very slow starting type sign. But once the bull gets started, it's very hard to slow it down. Okay, so I'm expecting this whole year to really be about building things up better, building things up to look more pleasing, have a stronger structure. Okay, and it's very exciting times. But one thing I will say the North Node going into Taurus, but you also have the sign of the planet of Uranus in Taurus, which is debilitated. There's definitely going to be, especially when these two meet, okay, this is definitely the falling of a lot of standing, existing physical entities, okay, relationships. Okay, there's going to be a lot of things getting destroyed so the brand new things can get built here. Okay, and it's going to be hard destruction because Uranus doesn't want to be in Taurus. Okay, and so here Uranus gets kind of fixated on the old stuff, but it knows it has to, bring in the new. So the fixation makes it hard to change into the future. Okay, so this is stubbornness energy, but the North Node coming here, meeting with Uranus and Taurus, yeah. The ones being stubborn on the old ways are going to have a really hard time with this one, okay? Now, another thing with this shift, the North Node shifting is in the 1st degree or 29th degree of Taurus, and that's going to make a very, very beautiful trine to AMC's Venus, okay? Remember, AMC's Venus is getting lots of attention, okay? AMC's Venus is 28 degrees Capricorn. The North Node is in 29 degrees Taurus. They're both Earth signs, making a perfect trine. Now look at this. The North Node is also going to be opposite AMC's midheaven, which is the midheaven is all about what you're doing in the world, career-wise or reputation-wise. Okay, so major shift of energy with the North Node going inside its sign of Taurus, making beautiful angles to the chart, and definitely shows a potential reversal. That's a fact. Okay, so what I have here is Friday still pulled up on AMC's chart. But I'm looking, and we're talking about Friday, the January 21st, guys. And I'm looking at this chart over here on the right top hand side, which is the January 21st run up that we had. And then this is the chart on the bottom right is the June run up we had to $72. Okay, so there's just a couple things I want to point out to you guys. First of all, one of the big things that happened this week is we had Mercury go retrograde. And I have a Mercury retrograde video in my channel if you guys want to see what that means for the stock in general. But having Mercury retrograde in AMC's first house, there's a lot of energy. Okay, the R represents the retrograde. Okay, there's a lot of energy on AMC for that reason. And this looks like something is definitely getting built up on the stock. Now, one thing I want to point out over here is Mercury is retrograde in an air sign, the sign of Gemini, when we ran up in June. Mercury is in the air sign again now, okay? And then if we look over here on top right on the January run up, Mercury was also in the air sign, also in the sign of Aquarius. It's in the sign of Aquarius right now. Now look at where it's at. It is opposite Mars, okay? Now when a planet is retrograde and is making an angle, it's more potent, it's stronger, okay? Because retrograde energy is the planet is slowing down and just focusing its energy hardcore in that one spot. If we look over here on the right hand side, Saturn was also making that same exact trine to the Mars over here, which to me could be another sign of a very interesting move coming up. Now if we look at the chart on the right bottom, June, Saturn right here is in the same exact spot that it was in, or Saturn is in the same exact spot now that it was in June. And look at where Jupiter is, okay? Jupiter is still in the first house, is in the first house in all these charts, and Jupiter is directly on top of Neptune now, just like it was on top of Neptune in June, okay? And Jupiter is a slow-moving planet, or I wouldn't call it slow, it moves a sign a year, but it went retrograde, and then it came back to that same spot. That's why Saturn's in the same spot. That's why Jupiter's in the same spot. And then also look at Pluto, also in the same spot on all the charts, conjunct that Venus, okay? So yeah, guys, remember we're leaving that 12th house energy and entering the first house energy, new beginnings all day, new energy all day, new shifts all day. I'm very, very excited for this. One last thing. Look at Uranus. Okay, remember Uranus is sudden changes into the future, sudden explosions into the future. It's making a 0-degree trine to Pluto, sudden changes. Okay, and look at this Pluto, guys. Pluto represents sudden changes, guys. Pluto's on top of AMC's Venus and an ascendant, and then AMC's Venus, which is retrograde, is on top of Pluto. Okay, then we turn around and then we have the Uranus conjunction. Okay, that's big time, guys. I mean, absolutely huge. Look at the January run up. Uranus is right there doing the same exact thing, Pluto. And it was also sextiling the moon, but it wasn't exact. Now they're both 0 degrees exact. On the June run up, Uranus was also making the sex or the trine to Pluto. Okay. So, guys, Pluto is sudden changes, sudden breakthroughs. Working behind the scenes and suddenly something happening from that. Okay. Resources. All right. So, I mean, man, this is exciting because when we do reverse, it's going to be violent. It's going to be sudden. No one's going to see it coming. And this is not the time to get scared, guys. Pluto is sudden changes. Suddenly I'm down. Suddenly I'm up. Suddenly I'm up. Suddenly I'm down. So if we jump down to that $17 level, don't be surprised if we're suddenly hitting $25. Okay. If we hit $30, don't be surprised if we hit $25. Okay. This is fluctuation. Uranus is involved. Uranus is very volatile. Pluto is very involved, very volatile. We're just coming off a full moon. Lots of volatility, guys. Okay. So we just need to be patient. Wait, hold, buy more if you can. I know I will. And just continue to have your conviction, okay? So you guys let me know if you guys are still just as convicted as ever. I am. Short interest is still going up. They're still heavily shorting the stock. I feel like the community is still strong. I still see a lot of people supporting AMC. So you guys let me know if you guys are still in the game, if you guys are still supporting AMC. I know scare money don't make money, so I'm definitely still supporting the game. I know this is going to be a huge opportunity that's never going to happen again. So I'm just going to keep holding, guys. So you guys let me know what you're doing. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. Okay, go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't subscribed. And you want to see DD like this that you literally can't get anywhere else, go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate it. Check us out, the Market Moonlord. A lot of great people in there. That's our Discord. A lot of great people in there. It's called the Market Moonlord. And I'm just excited. I'm happy we're saving money on taxes. I'm happy the movement is still strong. I'm happy to still be here. And I've been able to collect more AMC chairs from them prolonging it. Okay, so it's whatever to me. I'm pretty much numb to the price action right now. They can't keep it going down forever. We know AMC literally went from like $15 to $72 in like what was it, like 4 or 5 days. Okay, so just remember how fast AMC can move, guys. Okay, just remember how fast AMC can move, and it went from $14 to $72. Okay, we are $20. We'll probably make an even bigger move the next time we make the move, right? So there's really absolutely nothing to worry about. So much sudden changes, so many indications for big shifts happening right now. This is not the time to get scared. This is not the time to sell. This is the time to keep your conviction and stay in the game. So I hope you guys do. I hope I see you guys all on the moon. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you want to show support. I appreciate that too. I'm Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. You're watching the Market Moonlord, where we merge the matrix with the motherfucking stars. Until next time, peace.
Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune.